Good morning, fellas, and welcome back to Me Plays Games, where we play games. My name is Matt, and Super Mario 3D World recently came out on the Nintendo Switch. But today, we're going to be going back and taking a look at the Wii U version of the game. Like the last game we looked at, New Super Mario Bros. U, Super Mario 3D World also comes with another game on Switch, Bowser's Fury, but we'll be covering that another time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to Me Plays Games for more videos like this, and share this video with a friend. Also, join our Discord server. You'll find a link to that in the description. Once again, the world records for both of these games belong to the same player as of writing the script. Luigi Master has a time of 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 50 seconds on Wii U, and 1:36:16 on Switch. We'll be talking about the general techniques and the optimal route to beat the game. Then if something that's specific to a certain level comes up, I'll bring that up as well. Shout out to the Super Mario 3D World Speedrunning Discord server for helping me with this video. Alright, let's get started. In this game, at least as of writing this part of the script, the world record is slower on the Switch because the game just came out and the run hasn't been optimized all that much. The overall movement is much faster, and you can actually skip the opening cutscene on Switch, so the general consensus among runners of the game is that the Switch record is going to get much lower. For this reason, we'll mostly be going over the Wii U record, and maybe I'll revisit the Switch version sometime later on. Jumping straight into World 1-1 Super Bell Hill, you'll see that Luigi Master presses B to change characters and immediately presses A to reselect Luigi. This saves about 3 seconds per level because the game knows not to wait for you to switch characters. The two main techniques speedrunners will use to bulldoze these levels are cat momentum and crouch boosting. Cat momentum allows you to preserve your cat diving speed by scratching before you hit the ground, then jumping again. Crouch boosting just so happens to have the same name as a New Super Mario Bros. Wii technique, but they're not related. At least we don't think so. It took a DNA test, the results haven't come back yet, we'll see. Anyway, to do a crouch boost, you crouch for a split second before jumping again, which gives you a pretty noticeable speed boost. You can get an even bigger boost if you do this on an edge, which is known as an edge crouch. Another thing to note here, why is he collecting the green stars? And the reason is, unlike the other games we've gone over so far, getting collectibles is actually a requirement to progress in the game. By the end, you need at least 170 stars, but there are other roadblock levels along the way that require a certain number of stars to progress. At the end of certain levels, Luigi Master will slow down a tad to make sure the in-game timer doesn't end with a 1, 3, or 6. This is because if the timer ends in one of those numbers, fireworks will go off, which is bad because we're dealing with cats, and there's a 75% chance they'll get scared and run away. Nah, but in all seriousness, the fireworks do waste a few seconds, so it's better to just waste a fraction of a second waiting for the timer to tick down to a different number. In the second level, Koopa Troopa Cave, we see Luigi Master use the touchscreen on the Wii U gamepad to complete this mystery box objective as quickly as possible, netting him a green star. After that, he throws this Koopa shell at the Goomba stack in order to collect the third green star while also climbing this wall. This pipe is a secret exit that takes you to World 2. Yeah, the secret exits don't skip as much of the game here, probably because of the green star requirements. For Conch Door Canyon, Luigi Master switches to Peach, and no, this does not mean I call him Peach Master now. Super Mario 3D World characters all control differently, and you'll want to change characters depending on what level you're playing. Peach is going to be used in a lot of levels moving forward because of her ability to float, but we'll also see a decent amount of Luigi since he jumps the highest. Toad is good for levels that aren't too platforming heavy, and Mario is completely useless. If you watch this speedrun in its entirety, you may notice that the game doesn't save after every level like it normally does. This is because of a technique called save skip. Basically, you fill up a USB drive storage nearly to its limit, then put your 3D World save data on it as well. There won't be enough room on the drive to save the game, so it just won't. This saves over 2 minutes over the course of the entire run, because once again, the game normally autosaves after every level. Usually, after Conch Door Canyon, you have a choice between Shadow Play Alley and Puff Prod Peaks. But the latter level requires 15 green stars when you only have 9 by this point, so it's back to Luigi for Shadow Play Alley. Normally in this mystery box, you're supposed to hit the P switch to reveal the location of the green star, but you can also just do this. You might be wondering something else about this run. Hola, Matt. Is there any reason for the game being in Spanish? And the answer is yes. The Spanish version of the game has one fewer text box than other languages, so it's ever so slightly faster. Once again, in really rolling hills, you can use the Wii U gamepad to complete the mystery box as quickly as possible. Neat! I love using a controller that can't hold a charge ever. Throughout the run, you'll also notice that runners won't climb all the way up the flagpole, because this time, the lower you are, the faster the animation finishes. Next up is a quick detour to this mystery box level for a few extra green stars. Switch to Toad and absolutely steamroll all the enemies, and you just got 5 stars for free. After that is a mandatory Galumba blockade level. Nothing much to see here, moving on. In Double Cherry Pass, you only make one clone of yourself, and even then, that clone is basically just to help you collect this green star. After that, you promptly kill your clone and keep on trucking. At the end of the level is another star that you normally need 4 copies of yourself to collect, but Toad is a cat, and as you know, cats don't follow rules. Next up is World 2's tank level, Bowser's Bullet Bill Brigade. In this house, we love and appreciate alliteration. As usual with auto-scrollers, you can just kinda do whatever you want here. Luigi Master collects all green stars using a cannonball shot to get the last one while he goes down the pipe to meet Boom Boom. World 3-1 Snowball Park features one of my favorite glitches of all time. By repeatedly crouching while sliding across the ice, he'll build up a ton of speed, which Luigi Master combines with Peach's float to absolutely steamroll the level. This level takes only 32 in-game seconds to beat, even though he collected all 3 green stars. Next up is another split path. Luigi Master goes for Shifty Boom Mansion. Chain Link Charge requires 30 green stars, which just so happens to be exactly the number he has by this point, but it's an auto-scroller, so god no. The Catsuit and Wii U gamepad join forces to absolutely obliterate this mystery box task. Also, be sure not to get faked out by the phony flagpole at the end. Next up, he goes for the Captain Toad level for a few extra green stars. Captain Toad's levels are less platforming and more puzzle-based. The catch is that he's wearing a zillion-pound backpack and moves at approximately half a mile an hour. Either way, his levels are some of the most star-dense parts of the game, and since you need 170 of them, you gotta take what you can get, especially since we skipped most of World 1. To get to the next level, it's actually fastest to warp back to the start with the world map, as opposed to going back through the pipe. Next up is Pretty Plaza Panic, one of the quickest and shortest levels in the game. Luigi Master only gets the first 2 green stars though, since the third one is kind of out of the way in a coin heaven of sorts. After the Magic Koopa blockade is Pipeline Lagoon. This is a water level, and as you know, water levels are lame, so you want to spend as little time in the water as possible. That's not possible very often though, but what can you do? Switchboard Falls is another reminder that this game is on the Wii U. You can use the gamepad's touchscreen to move the switchboards, but Peach said switchboards are lame, so, you know. Anyway, thanks to a combination of Peach's float and the catsuit, you can just kinda ignore most of the switchboards, and then just sorta jump into this green star. Neat. Welcome to World 3's, train level. Sure, why not? We'll be seeing this a few more times during the run, but in auto-scroll levels, there are some triggers you can move ahead to hit to make the level scroll faster. One quick fight with Pom Pom later, and that's World 3 done. That's also page 3 of my script done. Wow. Wait, actually no, Histocrat has a score to settle with you. So just stay behind him, then spin jump up to bonk him on the head a few times, and that's the level. Next up is World 4, and in the first level, and Trooper Hill, Luigi Master gets another catsuit since he took damage during the Pom Pom fight and had to pull out his reserve bell. Also, there's more intentional damage boosting in this level since it's faster to get hit by the spikes instead of waiting for an ant to carry you to the end. Just in case you forgot, Piranha Creeper Creek is here to remind you that this game is on the Wii U. You can use the gamepad to push the piranhas out of the way to speed things up in this level. You can also use it to collect these green coins. This level also features the other secret exit of the game. This one takes you to World 5, where you immediately go for the Captain Toad level. Once again, Captain Toad is as slow as molasses, but his levels have a ton of quick green stars. The first half of Sunshine Seaside is the epitome of this game is on the Wii U, and we're gonna take advantage, get over it. This is another level where you use the gamepad to help you collect the key coins and green stars. After a quick ride on Plessy, that's the end of the level. Next up is Tricky Trapeze Theater. Normally you're supposed to ride this gondola all the way at the start of the level, but cats don't follow rules, so you can just dive down and get this green star instead. There's also a glitch where you get a ton of momentum by jumping off this gondola right when it stops, but that's slower in this case, so the world record doesn't use it here. After that is a quick charge and chuck blockade, which Peach can finish with frightening levels of efficiency. At the start of Sprawling Savannah, Luigi Master grabs this bell to put in his reserve, then he crouch boosts all the way through the second half of the level. The next level is Cakewalk Flip, where the gimmick is these red and blue platforms that flip whenever you jump. But once again, cats don't follow rules, so you can just ignore a lot of them. In Searchlight Sneak, the gimmick is these searchlights. If you get spotted, these bullet blasters will activate, shooting out cat bullet bills because of course they do. But fortunately for Luigi, you can also use these blasters as platforms. Normally, for the first green star, you're supposed to jump up to it with a spring, but that's lame, so Luigi Master jumps off a bullet instead. There isn't anything too fancy or schmancy going on in King Thunk's castle, but this is your daily reminder that this boss fight is an absolute joke. And that's World 5 done, sorta. We'll get back to that in a second. After unlocking World 6, Luigi gets disoriented as cats typically do, and heads straight back to World 5. And by that I mean there's a shortcut back to World 1 that lets Luigi Master do the Captain Toad level, even though he hadn't unlocked that part of the world earlier. One more quick pit stop before World 6. Let's head back to World 5-3 Backstreet Bustle, an inexplicably short level that you can beat in 13 seconds and also collect every green star. Alright, now it's time for World 6. The first level is Clear Pipe Cruise. They're the worst thing in the universe in Mario Maker because of how many levels use them poorly, but they're a fun time here. Cats don't follow rules though, so you can ignore a lot of the pipes. Fun. In Spooky Seasick Wreck, there's an invincibility star that you can use to get down to get this green star easily, but this is a Wii U game, so you can just scare the peepers away to make an opening yourself. Unlike the new Super Mario Bros. Games, this is faster than getting the star, thanks in part to there being water in this part of the level. Next up is Deep Jungle Drift, where normally you're supposed to ride a raft through the level. But number 1, that's boring, and number 2, cats don't follow rules. After a quick cameo appearance by Toad for the Prince Bully blockade, it's back to Peach for Taifu Flurries. Once again, you can use the absolutely ridiculous ice glitch to your advantage to absolutely destroy this level. Something I didn't know till I watched the speedrun is that you keep your momentum after warping back through a mystery box. Neat. Fuzzy Time Mine is a difficult auto-scroller, but not difficult in the intended way. Like I mentioned before, you can make auto-scroll levels move faster by hitting certain triggers. This isn't really a case of cats not following rules, but cats don't follow rules. Next up is a Mystery House level. Once again, there are 5 stars available, and the theme for this one is baseballs. Normally, you're supposed to grab them and throw them at stuff, but once again, I must remind you which console this game is on. Back to the mainland for another tank level, and it's another auto-scroller. You hate to see it. You can't really speed this one up either, so you can spend time tickling the enemies instead. One aggressive meeting with Boom Boom later, and that's World 6 in the books. Before you can do the next world though, you have to fight Motley Boss Blob. You could pick up the double cherries for extra hit points, but that tends to be more of a distraction when you're speedrunning, since you have multiple clones you have to take care of. That unlocks World 7, but Nintendo said the number 7 is lame and they called it World Castle instead. Ford Fryer Bros consists mostly of ignoring stuff. Warp boxes, fireballs, enemies, clear pipes. Thanks to Peach's floating cat suit, you don't exactly have to play this level properly. Say it with me now, cats don't follow rules. As you might expect, Luigi Master goes for the shorter Red Hot Run level with the split path. He actually avoids most of the dash panels in the first half of the level, because the panels actually cap your speed and prevent you from gaining any more momentum from cat momentum and crouch boosting. There's not too much to write home about in Boiling Blue Bully Belt, other than the fact that you can use the gamepad to obliterate this bully in the mystery box. Neat. Next up, you get a choice between 2 boss fights with a different level hiding behind each one. Luigi Master goes for the Boulder fight because it's got Trick Trap Tower on its path, whereas the Prince Bully one has a water level, which absolutely not. In the second half of Trick Trap Tower, you collect 5 key coins, then race back down the tower while poisonous gas chases you from above. Usually that's a pretty significant threat, but when you're good at video games, you can do this. After another quick Captain Toad level, it's on to Simmering Lava Lake, another level you can absolutely obliterate with Peach in the cat suit. The final level of this world is Bowser's Lava Lake Keep, which requires 130 green stars. Just so happens that we have exactly that many by this point. In the first half of the level, Luigi Master grabs a boomerang flower, since it's required for a green star later on. But first, he switches back to the cat suit to climb this bridge for a different star, because you know how it is. In the Bowser fight, you're normally supposed to kick the soccer balls back at him, but little does he know that Peach was the goalie on her team when she was 7, which gives her the privilege to use her disembodied hands. That unlocks World Bowser, but before playing any of the levels, Luigi Master performs a glitch simply called Out of Bounds, where you jump on top of this clear pipe, then fall down to land in World 4's Mystery Box level. This time, it's 10 stars and the theme is platforming to the end of various short levels, which I think speedrunners tend to know a thing or two about. Next level is Spiky Spike Bridge, the first level of World Bowser. Peach said that taking warp boxes is lame, so she just uses her cat suit and floating powers to cheese the entire thing. One technique that's used here and in many other levels is called vectoring. Basically, by curving your jump slightly by turning in midair, you gain even more momentum. You can do some pretty wild stuff with it in this game, as well as other recent games like 3D Land and Odyssey. Cookie Cogworks is next in line, and it features this ridiculous looking jump at the very end. And it's time for another auto-scroller. Fun. Well, if the game doesn't want us to have a good time, I guess we'll just screw with the enemies. No more sunglasses for the conch doors. Why are they wearing sunglasses at night? Who knows? That ain't in my business. Who cares? Anyway, Pom Pom is waiting at the end, but once she's taken care of, that's another level down. Footlight Lane is another level that you can rip to shreds with the cat suit, and next is a Ghost House level. Great. Normally, this is a glorified auto-scroller, but cats don't follow rules. Also, apparently you can stand on the edge of this platform and still open the door. It's the wrong door, but that's okay. Time for the last mystery box level of the run. This time the theme is climbing up with the cat suit. This time cats are following the rules. Cool. Next up is Grumblump Inferno. Normally you're supposed to ride Grumblumps through the level, but cats don't follow rules. During the level, Luigi picks up a Tanuki leaf for later. After this level, there's a split path where you normally have to pick between refighting Motley Boss Blob or fighting Queen Histocrat, but you have to do both in this run because you need both of the green stars they give out. At this point, Luigi Master has 168, and he needs 170 to unlock the final level. There is a glitch here in this last level called the Meowser Skip, where you drop a Tanuki leaf on the ground, then dive into it as a cat to keep your momentum and fly all the way into the boss fight. This skips the cutscene where Bowser uses a bell to turn into Meowser. One weird side effect is that the background music doesn't play during this fight. And that's it, every speedrun tech in Super Mario 3D World. I'll probably revisit this game when the Switch version becomes more optimized, but I hope you enjoyed this look at the Wii U version anyway. Be sure to subscribe to Me Plays Games for more speedrunning content. Alright, good night fellas, sleep well.